Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Consider It. I think everyone has questioned the existence of Atlantis, and not only that, but if it really existed, who lived there? When did it exist? And most of all, where the hell did it go? Well, for today's video, that's exactly what I will be explaining. This is a huge topic, and I will only cover what I see as the most important facts for this video. But if you enjoyed, leave a like and maybe a part 2 will come soon. If you want to be notified when I post, consider pressing the subscribe button. Pun intended. Ah, Atlantis. The rich, majestic city everyone has heard of. But there's so little we know about this beautiful place. Or is there? Plato is a very important historicus. He told the story of Atlantis 360 BC and stated that Atlantis would have existed 9,000 years before his own time. So that's about 11,000 years ago. Not only that, he also stated that Atlantis would consist of 3 rings of water and 2 rings of land, with the capital in the center of these rings. He stated these circles were symmetrical and had a diameter of 23.4 kilometers. Not only that, the water would be salt water, and there would be mountains up north of the city. Well, that's a decent description, and there's more we know, but let's recap what we know for now. We know Atlantis was, well, beautiful, consisted of 2 rings of land, 3 of water. The city had a diameter of 23.4 kilometers. The water was salt water, and there were mountains up north. And of course, that it sank due to a major flood. But what if I told you I happen to know a place which exactly fits this description? The so-called Eye of Africa, located in Western Africa, consists of these symmetrical circles, which just so happen to be 23.4 kilometers in diameter. Well, that's not all. You can clearly see where the rings of land are and where the rings of water were. You might question yourself, well, I don't see any water now, but we'll get to that in a second. If we look up north, we can see the mountains just as Plato described.
Pause. I'm sorry for pausing the video on your behalf, but while editing this, I noticed a small mistake. I say this is Plato's map. Well, it's not. It's actually Herodotus' map. Herodotus is considered the father of history, a very accurate historicus. I also mentioned Plato a little bit later, so know that this is also Herodotus. Sorry, and let's continue.
So we have some hard similarities between these places. But there's a lot more. This enormous Eye of Africa, which is visible from space by the way, was also on a map Plato made. It wasn't called the Eye of Africa, but yeah, you probably guessed it, Atlantis. So we have a beautiful site which exactly matches the description Plato gave us. And on top of that, this is located exactly where he said Atlantis would be. But wait, the Eye of Africa isn't even underwater, so it can't be Atlantis, right? Well, would you believe me if I told you no one ever stated that Atlantis actually sank to the bottom of the sea? In fact, people stated quite the opposite. They said you could still see vegetation rising from the water, but due to the flood, all the buildings washed away. Now, I am aware that just the location and the description is not valid proof, but there's a lot more information which I simply cannot fit into one video, like the major flood that was also described in the Bible, in the story The Ark of Noah, the sudden change of vegetation around this area. And 11,000 years ago, this location was actually a tropical rainforest. Wait, the whole Sahara Desert was actually a rainforest? Yep. Well, that changed in a very short period of time. And even the CIA looked deeper into this place and said they would release all the files to the public once they knew what this location was about. But that didn't happen. Well, they gave it out to the public but erased the more important parts. To wrap it up, there's a lot more to cover and a lot more I will cover in upcoming videos. Bright Insight is an amazing YouTuber who actually goes into deep detail of this subject. I recommend checking out his page if you're interested in Atlantis. Well, that's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this video and leave a like if you did. Keep in mind to consider it.